So good to see you.
Is Zelensky facing defeat? There are ample signs, and that is why I asked this question tonight. Is the Ukrainian president facing defeat? Let me tell you what's happening on the ground. One, Russian forces are advancing on several fronts. The region of Kharkiv is the latest flashpoint. Russia began its incursion into Kharkiv on Friday, and between then and now, Russia claims to have captured at least 12 settlements. That's 12 in 6 days. Russia, in fact, is carrying out what's being called one of the most significant ground attacks since the beginning of the war. Fighting is raging in a town called Vovchansk. This is where it is on the map, some 5 kilometers from the Russian border. Ukraine says Russian infantry groups have already entered the town of Vovchansk. Moscow claims its troops have also recently taken control of 2 more villages in Kharkiv. Russian troops have also taken at least 1 settlement in Southern Zaporizhzhia. It's called Robotine. It happens to be one of the settlements that Kiev retook in its counter-offensive last year. So what's next? Russia's state news agency RIA says that Russian forces are preparing to take a village called Liptsy. That's about 30 kilometers north of Kharkiv. One Russian official said Russian troops are already on the outskirts of Liptsy. On top of that, Russian troops are also bombing towns and villages. There have been Russian airstrikes on Ukraine's Mykolaiv and Kherson. In fact, 17 people have been injured. There has been an air attack on Dnipro where 2 people have lost their lives. Like I said, Russian troops are advancing on multiple fronts.
Our troops are constantly, every day, improving their positions in all directions. I repeat, they're carrying out all the tasks set by the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff.
Выполняют все задачи, поставленные Министерством обороны.
Now, the bad news for Ukraine is Russia is not done. Experts say Russians will up the ante over the next 3 months. And guess what? They are not wrong. Have a look at what the Russian President Vladimir Putin is saying. In that public meeting with Russia's new defense minister, Andrei Belosov, Putin said that victory could be hasted by the use of more powerful and advanced weapons. Now, what does that mean for Zelensky, who is already struggling to arm his troops? Is Zelensky facing defeat? And here's sign number 2, by the way. Ukrainian troops have been forced to withdraw from several villages in Kharkiv. They have pulled back after coming under heavy fire. A spokesperson for the Ukrainian military said the troops had to be pulled back from the settlements of Lukyansky and Vovchansk in order to, quote-unquote, preserve the lives of our servicemen and avoid losses. Ukraine has also had to evacuate some 8,000 people from Kharkiv last week. You see, there is no guarantee that Russia will not open more fronts. Does Ukraine have what it takes to defend itself is the question. There is shortage of troops and Ukraine has burned through its cache of weapons. Troops' morale is down. The counterattacks are failing. Ukraine has not been able to inflict much damage. Russia claims its military shot down 10 US-supplied long-range missiles known as ATACMS over Crimea. ATACMS is short for Army Tactical Missile Systems. Earlier this week, the US had said that American ATACMS were reaching Ukraine. This week, Moscow also said that 5 Ukrainian attack drones were destroyed over the Kursk and Bryansk regions in Russia. How do you read this, if not as Ukraine's failure to defend its settlement and inflict damage on Russia? Which brings us back to the question, is Zelensky facing defeat? Here's sign number 3. The writing is on the wall. Even Zelensky knows it. He has cancelled all foreign trips. Zelensky's press secretary, Sergei Nikiforov, said that the president had, quote, instructed that all international events scheduled for the coming days be postponed and new dates coordinated. The president says, quoting further, all attention now is focused on the current defense operations. Number 4. While Zelensky is being forced to stay home, Putin is on his second visit to China in just over 6 months. And from China, Putin is once again sending signs that he has never shied away from negotiations, that he is ready to talk. In a joint press conference, Xi Jinping said both the sides agreed that a political settlement to the Ukraine crisis was the quote-unquote right direction. Listen to this.
We both agreed that a political settlement of the Ukrainian crisis is the right direction.
And what's more, Putin said he was grateful to China for trying to solve the crisis. Let's play out that bite as well.
I will, of course, inform Mr. President of China on the situation around the Ukrainian crisis. We are grateful to the Chinese friends and colleagues for the initiatives they put forward to solve this problem.
Now remember, China has proposed a 12-point peace plan for Ukraine, and the plan does not talk, and I repeat, does not talk about troop withdrawal. Will Zelensky be forced to settle for status quo in order to avoid an all-out defeat? Does he have any other option in the face of Russia's fresh offensive? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.